Coming up on this week's episode of Aftershock,
Damien informs us on Netflix's new plan for animations.
Kim asks students about their ideal prom dates.
Morgan tells us the story of a self-made business owner.
And much, much more.
What's up, Cypress Bay? I'm Isabella Chiappini.
And I'm Alex Duque, and Aftershock starts now.
As high school students, we have a lot going on. SATs, clubs, jobs, homework. It can be a lot to handle at once.
But sometimes these commitments could serve as a stepping stone to achieving what one did not think was possible.
Here's Morgan with a down-to-earth story about how one student crystallized their love for entrepreneurship.
Throughout Cypress Bay, there are many classes that cater to students' interests, but one specific class is help students' dreams become a reality.
I actually never thought that I was going to be in the business field. I just took DECA freshman year because, DECA's good for college, DECA's an extracurricular, it's a club, it's going to look good for your college applications, and I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And I took entrepreneurship my first year, and that opened my eyes to a completely different world. I'm like, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to do this, because I never really knew what I wanted to do with my life. And I always wanted to open a crystal shop. It's been my dream. So I started entrepreneurship and I was like, DECA has honestly inspired me to open this business and to keep going with it. Every time I walk into my DECA class and I'm just feeling down and I'm like, I haven't gotten any orders today, Mr. Wise just starts talking about business and I'm like, okay, let's get back to it.
While the start of a new business can be stressful, Lara has benefited from the club, learning how to best promote her new business, Astro Crystals.
I took marketing, which helped me advertise my business, helped me learn how to advertise it with Mr. Wise. Literally, my role model. He actually bought my first ring sizer to make rings. And from there, I started posting it on Snapchat, which was a huge help for me because it was the best way to advertise it locally because everybody here in Weston and Broward does have Snapchat. So they would see it and they'd be like, I want it.
Although everyone may not believe in her business, Lara is confident in what she's selling.
Most people that don't really know about crystals would say that they're just rocks, but they're not. If you just buy a crystal and just leave it there, it's not going to do anything because it's a rock, it's a mineral, it was made from nature, it's not even man-made, grew from Mother Earth. So it definitely has some amazing properties from Earth itself. You need to learn how to work with it. You need to do your research. You need to charge them. You need to cleanse them. You need to set your intentions. There's so many different things in the crystal world that you need to learn before it actually starts helping you and being beneficial to your life. They have helped me go through probably the darkest phase of my life. And since they each have different properties, they each have helped me in different aspects, such as the one that I have on right now, carnelian. It helps a lot with confidence and actually, I have become a lot more confident than I used to be. I used to be shy and more introverted, and then I started working with carnelian, and I'm like, yeah, I got this. And then I am also a very anxious person, and I have really bad anxiety and insomnia as well. And then I started working with amethyst, and it has really helped and eased that anxiety. Every time I need it, I just bring my amethyst with me, and everything's fine.
Choosing classes may seem tedious, but Lara's business is living proof that classes can be the rock that students lean on for clarity. I'm Morgan Haggett, CB TV.
If I were to ask you what happened at the 2022 Oscars, there's a high chance that this is the first thing that would come to mind.
Change up.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth!
I'm going to.
However, the history made at this event was overshadowed by Chris Rock getting rocked.
That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
That still deserves some spotlight. For those that don't know, the Oscars is a televised award show to recognize the best films of the year in multiple different categories. The representation for the deaf community was brought to the stage with the Best Supporting Actor going to Troy Kutzer, the first deaf person to ever win an acting Oscar for his performance in Coda. the story of a young girl who is the only hearing person in her family, which also ended up winning Best Picture of the Year. As a male-dominated industry, women were able to shine through this year, with the Best Director going to Jane Campion for her film Power of the Dog, making her the third woman ever in history to win an Oscar for director. On top of this, the host this year consisted of not one, not two, but 3 female comedians.
This year, the Academy hired 3 women to host because it's cheaper than hiring 1 man.
As the first openly queer person of color, Ariana DeBose took home the award for Best Supporting Actress for her role as Anita in Steven Spielberg's adaptation of West Side Story. Even though all the media's buzz was on the hit,
Oh, wow!
the history these individuals slapped on the Oscars is one that's definitely gonna leave a mark. I'm Nicole Borman, CB TV.
Hey Cypress Bay, I'm Alex Land. I'm a 3-time Aftershock veteran, and today we're going to be looking at some of the behind-the-scenes stories to some of my past segments. So let's get right into it. Is this a PSA? Did I do it? Oh, no. I know what this is. It was one of the unfortunate times I got put on sports, and I refused to do recording any of the games. Sorry, Mr. Cummings. Yeah, and this is me struggling to do a plank, sophomore year me. Survivor! I love this segment so much. This is my favorite segment I think I've ever made. I think that this was the turn for me of just doing something that I really cared about and making it into a segment. Me love Survivor, me do segment on Survivor. And I think that this is just like a very monumental landmark growth moment for me. And I love this segment. Making it was stressful. I filmed it, my entire family was pissed at me because this was my entire family was on Survivor. That was the skit. Oh my God. I was target number 1 amongst the Land family. I don't remember this one. No, this one was 2 weeks ago. This segment is so stupid, but I think is very me. May have just called myself stupid, but who knows. This segment was, the concept of it is so dumb. It's literally just bleeping out moments of Aftershock to make it look like people are cursing, which is, such a stupid idea, but I'm really happy I did it. I think that's, really, it just, is very, I stepped into what I wanted to do. I really wanted to push this year, making it my 3rd year. It's crazy, looking at this, this after. Wait. This after. Okay, wait. Me open a notebook challenge. Wait. This before of this tiny child doing a plank that I could hold for maybe 3 seconds. And then we have this person with a lot of confidence who could also hold the plank for maybe 3 seconds. But that's not the point. I'm really happy to see my growth. This is crazy. That's all for my behind-the-scenes stories. I'm Alex Land, CB TV.
Yo, do you hear that Netflix is releasing a new season of Cuphead this year?
Yeah, actually, I heard a bunch of new shows are being released this year too.
Well, here's Sammy to talk about the upcoming wave of animations.
Merging with simulator in 3, 2, 1.
The genre of animation has been gaining large amounts of traction on streaming services, which is why when the head of adult animation for Netflix, Mike Moon, said that their plans were to speed up the process of making these animated shows, it was at first taken to be good news. But while the faster production of these shows may draw in those in front of the screen, it has the potential to poorly affect those making that web of colors come to life.
It's huge, the crunch culture everywhere and related to art. They're just pushing the limits out of people. Somebody doesn't do their work and they pass it on to the next one that is not complaining as much. He's not complaining, pass it on to them. They start complaining, pass it on to another. And if everyone's complaining, send it to the other countries. They'll do it for way cheaper.
With this threat looming over animators' heads, the mentality to work longer hours, even on the same low salaries they were paid initially, ends up becoming the norm.
At the beginning, they might have been very excited about the story. They might have been they probably got the story presented to them and they're like, oh my god, this is so cool, and they get excited, they start working on it, but after repetition and repetition and repetition and just animating on their low budgets, it's not as much.
And given how much goes into a single episode already,
it's a lot of things, too much. Animating, backgrounds, storyboarding, the actual writing of the show.
The effects of speeding up this process can be detrimental not only to its creators, but to the show as a whole.
If you don't put enough thought into something, where you're excited about it yourself, it just reduces the quality in general of what they could be doing.
While drawing up more ideas onto streaming platforms is well-intentioned, executives may need to retrace their steps on how to go about it, and how to provide better conditions to the workers behind the beloved shows of today and tomorrow.
You need time. Animation is not a simple thing. You need to put the love, the effort, the time.
So next time you tune into your favorite animated show or movie,
appreciate the animators, the people creating those shows.
Because you never know if their next illustration is your future inspiration. I'm Samantha Perez, CB.
Give them their time. They have amazing stuff to tell you and you'll enjoy it. Just let them do their work.
TV.
On April 19th, 2019, the newest installment of the Conjuring universe, The Curse of La Llorona, hit the big screen in the US, telling the Mexican folkloric tale. And while this movie touched on many parts of it, the whole story wasn't told. The legend of La Llorona tells of a woman named Maria, who was the most beautiful in her whole town. She would wear her white gown in the evenings and charm many men, until she finally landed upon her husband, a ranchero. She bore 2 children, boys, and they lived the fairy tale lifestyle, being one of the most beloved families in the town. But one day, the 2 children, as well as Maria, were found drowned in the river. In another version, she drowns her children after seeing her husband with another woman, but after she realizes she's killed them, she spends the rest of her days searching alongside of the river, wailing for her lost children. Now, she is said to appear in her white dress near running water, searching for her children, often heard wailing, mis hijos or mis niños. Many Hispanic parents use this legend to scare their kids into obeying them, threatening that La Llorona would come and take them if they don't behave. But the scariest part are her wails, which many people have claimed to hear only minutes before narrowly evading death. I've gotta go. She can't know I'm here. Bianca Jaramillo, CB TV.
Hey, do you know who you're going to prom with?
No.
Well, maybe we should ask Kim about it. She might have some options.
What's up, Cypress Bay? My name's Kimberly Blum, and today I'll be seeing who you guys would rather go out to prom with. Who would you rather go to prom with? Beetlejuice or Danny DeVito?
I'm gonna have to say Beetlejuice, because that's a brother. Danny DeVito.
Why?
Hot.
He's hot?
He's hot.
I'm sexually attracted to Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice for sure. I don't have to see the second one.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
The second one? Beetlejuice, why is that?
He's my boy. He's 4'11". I'm 5'7", 5'8". It'll make me look tall.
Danny DeVito or Chris Rock?
Definitely Danny DeVito.
Why is that?
Because he's just awesome. Like, it's Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
Why is that?
He's just like, I don't know, he's cute, man.
Who would you rather go to prom with? Logan or Jake Paul?
Ooh, I'd say Logan. I'd say Logan.
Why is that?
You know, I just think he's like more beefy like that, you know, and maybe I'm kind of into that.
Well, looks like you guys have some interesting choices for prom dates. Can't wait to see who you bring May 14th. I'm Kimberly Blum, CB TV.
Well, that's it for this week's episode of Aftershock.
If you want to watch previous episodes, check out our YouTube at Cypress Bay CBTV and follow all of our social medias. I'm Alex Suke.
And I'm Isabella Chiappini. Thanks for watching.